Inshallah, our SMC family online and all the hard work everyone's doing, alhamdulillah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, does the level of sincerity of our love determine the speed by which things manifest for us?
Definitely. That the sincerity of love is everything. It's the power that manifests every reality. So that is the path. The lack thereof becomes the difficulty. People just saw him. That was nice, Samir. Yes. Inshallah. Everything again is based on sincerity. So let's put it the reverse way. The people whom are not trying to achieve sincerity, there's like a mouse that runs in this little cage, and the mouse thinks it's getting somewhere. But if anyone has ever seen these pet cages, the mouse goes on and just but he's running hard, but he's getting nowhere. So life without sincerity, it seems like we're running and getting nowhere. They think they're doing something, they could swear they're trying to do something, but through tongue and not through sincerity, we look back, nothing changed and they got nowhere. And you can come across people that for years they're doing something, but they don't seem like they changed. They don't seem like there's more light on them, they don't seem like their character's nice, their speech is not with ishq and muhabbat, they didn't achieve a sense of greater knowledges and wisdoms. So it seems like they just were running around spending time. So we see them in our lives and they live a life by tongue and not a way of sincerity through their heart. And it's not really possible to achieve without the shaykh's guidance, because 90% or 99% of people don't even understand the correct system of love. You go back into our cultural environments and what do they teach about love? Oh, love this one, love that one, expect everything from this one and that one, and no more teaching that you have to rely on Allah. If your heart not connected to the real power source, who can help you on this earth? Just like with your money, you say, I'm going to be nice to my boss because then I'm going to get a raise. That's not how you get a raise, because your raise doesn't come from the boss. The boss, he's a vehicle in which his hand moves. But what Allah says, I'm the controller of hearts. I make the hearts of people to do what I want them to do. Everybody is a avatar for Allah, good and bad. Anything coming to you bi-idhnillah. Nothing can come to you outside of Allah's permission. So then who should we focus on if we want to raise? Allah. Make your durood al-sharif and ask Prophet, my hand is coming short for my needs in life, Ya Sayyidi, Ya Rasul Kareem, that represent me in the presence of Allah and send me a help and support. And durood al-sharif for every need. We're sick, who's going to make you better? The doctors? No offense to doctors, but they seem to each give medicines that make every other condition counterproductive. They give you one medicine, open two other problems, then they give you another medicine, open three other problems. So who's the one who heals you? Allah. If you have pious doctor, then Allah through that pious one inspiring, now do this. So it means everything comes from Allah. So why waste time on anything else? And if you want Allah's attention, love Sayyidina Muhammad, because that's the door, that's the key. say, oh, other people say Allah, but why are you guys different? I say, yeah, because we know the key is the love of Prophet. If you don't have the key and permission from Prophet, Allah is not doing anything for you. He's wondering why Prophet's not asking on your behalf. So this is the key for the tariqahs, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum, Shaykh.
Wa alaykum salam.
You mentioned that demonic forces can block the love. Could you explain?
Demonic forces? That's their whole system. They don't want any love. They know the key and they want people to love each other so that they have control of that love. What does shaitan have control of? Does he have control of your love for Allah? Absolutely not. If you do your tafakkur, you do your contemplation, make your connection to Divinely love, Allah receive and begin to dress you, shaitan can't get in there. That's not anything in his way. But what shaitan can get into are people. So when they start to love each other but not love Allah, not try to make sure Allah's happy and managing your relationship, Prophet happy managing your relationship, the people trying to love each other but not Allah being supreme, that's what shaitan wants, because he comes then into the people and make them all fight. Because he has the abode of those people, he can come into people left and right and make every condition to be agitated, every condition to be aggravated. But the one whom is trained to hold Allah supreme, the love of Prophet to be supreme, then that's the supreme love. Shaitan doesn't want that. That's why we say now coming the head of these shaitans is Dajjal. He doesn't want anyone connected to the key of Prophet. So this is his whole system, that he knows that. So he knew, he knew that he's coming, and his people have been preparing for his arrival, and he's been telling his people that the Muhammadiyun's very dangerous, try to get rid of them. And they say, well, we can't affect their book, so we'll go after their hadith, and we'll go after their scholars of hadith that are proficient in the language. And they changed the hadith, they abrogated hadith, they cut out volumes of hadith. Why? Because they know the key is Muhammadur Rasulullah. So yeah, shaitan knows the system of love. He's been putting a plan for 100 years for their arrival, 1,000 years for the arrival of their Dajjal. So this is a system that the shaykhs are teaching for the advent of Dajjal. Others say, oh, other shaykhs are not teaching about it. Well, that maybe they don't have that connection. InshaAllah.
Sayyidi, you answered this one here. SubhanAllah. As-salamu alaykum, Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Ever since joining tariqah and following your teachings, our dunya associates are taking distance and coming against us as if repelling. How do we partake in this dark dunya while walking this beatific path?
Like we described, Shaykh, that the dunya will be a reflection of who you are. So like when we talked about Zabani, the people of the relationships based on crumbs, that they want something from you, the relationships based on speech, and then the relationships based on sincerity. But people are not associating that relationship is actually who they are. So in my life, if I have a lot of people who want crumbs, want something from me, then most likely that's what I want. So that becomes a reflection of my character, that I'm surrounded by people whom taking from me because I'm also taking, and that becomes then the character of the people whom this is a reflection. They say then I'm surrounded by people who all just tongue, they're just talking, doing nothing. then that's actually a reflection of who I am at and what my state is at. Is maybe my life is just about talking. I talk a good talk about this, about that, and that's why it's a direction for us to look into our lives to go towards the people of sincerity. As you start to associate with sincere people, their energy is so powerful that the people who look for crumbs, they can't stand these people. So many times people say, oh, see, we have this person, he's coming, say hello to you. They can barely say hello and they leave. They're not interested because there's not the same vibration or energy. So it's to our benefit in life that when we are moving towards sincerity, then we begin to attract sincerity. If my life is just about what I'm going to get from people, then I'm going to attract the same. That's why when our children now, again, when we go back and deal with children, say, what do you want in life? So I want somebody with a lot of money. So that's like the worst thing you could describe. Yeah, it's lots of money, like this, like that. I said, but this character sounds like you're trying to steal from somebody. So you're saying you want to be a crook and you want somebody crooked. Now you're putting out an energy that's very bad, because if this person comes into your life, you're trying to crook them and they're already a crook. So now two crooks are meeting. So it's the same teaching in our lives, that don't put out that request, that put out that you want something pious, that you want someone good, you want something based on your faith, someone strong in your faith. Rizq and all these things Allah can send, but with the foundation of good sincere people. That's the importance though. As we become and take a path towards sincerity, you don't want so many crooked people to be attracted to you. They talk, but we have good manners, we don't have to say anything. We go about our way, do our things, and they seem to not be attracted, not want to socialize. Especially lisanis, especially if you work at work, all they want to do is backbite, talk, sit in a cafeteria, talk about this person's birthday. I remember in job years, they had like what they called the office family. Every 5 minutes is somebody's birthday celebration in the cafeteria. And now people ask, what should we do with this birthday? Well, the birthday situation, take your paycheck and go home. There's no family at office or at work. This is a false teachings from shaitan. You do your work, barely interact with the people that you have to work with, get your paycheck and go home. Your family's at home. The shaitan says these things, implies these implied relationships and destroys families. They do something completely inappropriate at work. So these are all the tricks of shaitan. It's to our benefit to take a path towards sincerity, and then those people who talk too much, they don't want to be around sincere people. Better those people whom just they're always trying to crook you from something, better they don't be attracted to you. Allah sends sincere people to you, and you still make your rizq, you still make everything, because Allah is the one signing the check. But you make it from sincere people. The same thing as Shaykh is doing. So they're asking through their heart, Ya Rabbi, send sincere people whom sincere love, have sincere ways, sincere desires, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
In the last lecture you mentioned that our lives consist of a series of circles with no end. Why don't we remember the time before our birth, and is there a way to experience that reality?
We don't remember even our names. How to remember what we've experienced in this existence of ours? So this is a reality, and where Allah has had us, we don't have reincarnation. So where we have been, what is our existence, what's the reality of our existence in this world of light, this is what we call marifah. So they show you milk, so you just entered the path and say, okay, look at this milk. You say, yes, from this milk I can make cottage cheese. Yes. If I can make cheese, yes. I can make butter, say yes, but you can't have it now. So there's a process. You want to know your names, you want to know your history, you want to know your reality, then get to know yourself. Who knows himself will know his Lord. So that's why meditation, that's why come to the shaykh and make your tafakkur, your contemplation, to get to know who you really are. That you're just a seed right now. So what's the tree that you're supposed to be, and what are the fruits that you're to bear, so that people can enjoy from the fruits and the beatific reality that Allah designed us with. He didn't design us as to be seeds. That shaitan fooled us and said, just remain a seed, don't worry, don't plant yourself in anything. InshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, is qiyamat a mirror of this worldly life?
What?
Qiyamat?
Mirror?
No, see.
I don't know what does a mirror of this life mean. Qiyamat is a day of judgment. So a day in which everybody going to have a reckoning, like a big audit. So you take your muhasabah and your accounting and wait until you enter the grave, and here we go, the accounting begins. Very real, very painful, very dangerous. That's why the shaykhs, they go into seclusion so that they understand the azab of the grave, the punishment of the grave. They understand what kind of conditions are going to take place, how to prepare for it, and what to do to avoid immense difficulty. So judgment day begins the person who dies. As soon as they die and take their last breath, their judgment has begun, from the lesser azab to the greater azab. That's why we follow shaykhs whom are guided, because their seclusions, the first two of their seclusions is all about the punishment of the grave. Then third, fourth, they begin to experience their haqqaiqs and their realities. That's why then their meditation takes away from the days of the grave. Every time you sit and make your tafakkur, you're taking away from the 40 days that you have to go into the dirt. نوت الأربعين نوت الاعتكاف نوت الخلوة السلوك والصيام فهذا المجلس. Every time we recite that, Sultan al-Awliya Shaykh Abdul Faiz Daghestani Qaddasallahu Siru describe, every time you recite that at the beginning of your worshipness, I will count from the time of your 40 days. So imagine 10 years of reciting that at the beginning of every ibadah, every worshipness, every tafakkur. You did many days of seclusion. And then those whom sit and begin to make their tafakkur, that's the time of their khalwa. Everybody has to do their 40-day khalwa. They die, 40 days will open, they start to go through their punishment and their condition of their grave. But the one who makes tafakkur, same reality is opening for them. That's why a lot of people get scared, oh, as soon as I close my eyes these scary things started to happen, this started to happen, this started to happen. That's a condition of what would be your grave. So imagine if you can't get out of it and open your eyes and go have a tea, and you just look there for 40 days in that difficulty. So that's why Allah's rahmah and mercy is, at least let's do this now, where if it gets a little bit too heavy, you stop, you go wash, go out for a walk. That it was something uncomfortable and not desirable, then you break and wash, clean, and then go back in and face your fate and face whatever demons are trying to affect you, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Can Ubaidullah be one of our 7 names, and can we meditate on this name to receive the dress of servanthood?
Yeah, you can focus on your shaykh. So the servant of Abdullah means that focus on the shaykh still. You don't need to try to open other names or other realities. It's first connect to the shaykh. When your connection is very strong to the shaykh, then it's a mirror that will begin to reveal itself of who you are. So you can't cut that connection out and say, okay, how about if I take this name and I start to connect to this name? How about this name and try to find this name? It doesn't work that way. It works in the system that they describe. Connect with the shaykh, make yourself to vanish, and the fires of the shaykh to dress you. So why? Well, because if you connect with the shaykh, he comes with truth. If you connect with yourself, Allah describes in Qur'an, have you seen those who make their desires their lords? So who became Butt Parast? How did Butt Parast come out? When we were travelling with Mawlana Shaykh into these areas of Indonesia, they had huge gross statues, very ugly statues. And they were coming and bringing food and all sorts of offerings to these statues. And Mawlana gave a sohbat then, said, you know what these statues are? I said, yeah, this is their nafs. When they would sit with themselves without a guide, what would appear to them? Their nafs. And their nafs, which was horrific, and all the genitalia, it was very graphic. Statues were all over this area of Bali. And said this was their nafs. And that's why Allah said, have you seen those who made their desire, their nafs, their lord? Because as soon as they would meditate by themselves, no madad, no outside force of truth, what comes when you sit and meditate? Your nafs. You say, oh, I've been waiting all this time to meet you. I've been whispering all this time, now you're giving me an audience to come and now sit right in front of you. So they actually begin to meditate and their nafs is in front of them and distracting and not showing what it really looks like. And say, you're God or you're a goddess, you're great, you're a source of power, you're everything. And begin to feed the person all of their hawa, all their desires, all their wants. And they begin to glorify themselves that, oh, I have the supreme power, I'm a god, I'm a goddess, I'm this, I'm that. So anytime we do anything that is by ourselves, for ourselves, very dangerous, become all shaitani. But as soon as you ask for the shaykh, you're going to get in trouble. That's why people have a very difficult time, because the shaykh appears right in front of you. As soon as you meditate, they're saying, why you did like that? Why you did like this? Why you did like that? You say, oh, forget it, I'm out of here. And then they close the meditation, because his haqq is the truth is coming. He's not coming to candy coat anything. He's going to tell you everything you did wrong, every connection you did wrong, how you spoke wrong, everything, so that you can't lie to that reality. Because that's the soul. That's the soul, and the soul is created in truth. Muhammadan souls, when they appear, you can't lie to them. So that's why it's a guided with the shaykh. So as soon as I sit, ask for the shaykh, I have strong connection with the shaykh, I start to ask about myself and this and that, the shaykh is like, what are you talking about? Stop this nonsense. And begin to put the lock onto you. If you ask too much about dunya stuff, say, we're going to cut your connection. So I want to know about lottery tickets, so we're going to cut your connection. Oh, I want to know about this and this and dunya stuff, they cut your connection. So it's very strong, this reality. Then the person becomes disciplined that not to ask and what to ask. Because they see, oh, the connection got cut for a few days, now they can't connect. Then you have to keep making your tawbah, come back, reconnect, and say, now use this in an appropriate manner, appropriate appearance, you perfume yourself, proper clothing, and you keep connecting. Then this becomes a tarbiyah, in which how you're connecting and what you're asking. You're asking from haqqaiq, Sayyidi, that your knowledge of this teaching, fill me with this faiz, this energy, or sit with me so that I can do my awrad and send me a light and a dressing from your lights. And it becomes a very respectful, powerful relationship to guide me towards truth. Why? Because it's the Muhammadan light, shahidan, mubashiran wa nadhiran. So the Muhammadan identity of the shaykh comes to be shahid and witness for you, because Qur'an says the Prophet is shahidan. The shaykh has a Muhammadan dress, so his light comes to be a shahid for you, to be witness over you. Mubashiran, because they're filled with lights, and they feel the lights of the servant who calls them. Wa nadhiran, and they guide you and warn you that don't do like that. that do like this, and the one whom listens to their heart and that begins to have inspirations, do like this, do like that, do it now, and then they're following. That's why we said this way of love you will be tested. Other shaykhs will say, no, he's a magician, don't follow him. So how that shaykh said something like that? Because Allah wants to know, you so easily fooled by these things? What does Qur'an say that they said about Prophet? Same thing. Why Allah would allow that? And He mentions it in Qur'an that, oh, he's using magic. He's not giving you verses, he's using magic. This seems to be a popular theme with holy people. He's using magic. And the people, oh, I gotta run away. After 25 years I'm gonna run away. So all those 25 years what was happening? The magic wore off? Yeah. So people are crazy, but shaitan doesn't stop. And you never know that maybe Allah was going to grant a dress and people ran. So this is a system. You have to know, we have to know, love will be tested. It's never going to be easy. As soon as you begin your fires is opening, shaitan is going to try to block that so quick, so fast, and put doubt and put every type of casting of evilness within the heart and soul of people to stop them. So our path was continuous like that. We are very strong with our shaykh, our connection. And his brother would say, you're every horrific thing you can imagine, who was a huge wali. So I was just scared to see him. I would avoid him at every possibility because I know what he's going to say. He's going to say all sorts of horrific things. Why? To see, what do you believe? And on one time we went somewhere and said, oh, here comes this Shia guy in front of everybody, the Shia guy from Iran. So not a Shia guy but an Iranian. He's a dog for his shaykh. I said this. And people were so like, oh my God, how come he talks like this to him? But for me that was the greatest compliment. I love this so much. He was saying, yeah, I know who you are. I know what you want to be. You want to be like the dog of Ashab al-Kahf. So yeah, but nobody had to know that. I was willing to take the insult because that was in my dua that, Ya Rabbi, let me to be like the dog of Ashab al-Kahf, that I'll take whatever rocks they want to throw, no problem, because I don't need outside people to give me a prize. I just need an inside reward, that their presence. So he would say things like that that would shock outside people, but the people of the heart knew what he was talking about. So this is the way of awliya. It's never going to be praising. These were not the people who praise you in front of people. He said, if we ever praise, we only praise the mukhabarat. Shaykh Dagestani was living in the time of the Syrian mukhabarat. They kill everybody. So it was a system. Whoa, mashallah, you're here today. Oh, he would stand up for the person, give them a tea and a cookie. Everybody in the Jamanu mukhabarat has entered into the room. Why? Don't say anything, because the mukhabarat is sitting right next to you. So everybody was on to. So he said, when I praise, it's mukhabarat, but when I beat, this is a murid. So this was the way, this is the reality. So alhamdulillah, just a reminder for myself, it doesn't end. So continuously people always attacking, and people watching say, why are they attacking, he must be a bad one. So no, it's these very rocks that people throw. We described in Surah Al-Kahf that our life is about taking the rocks. People cast rocks and Allah's happy because He wants to see the khuluq. He doesn't want to see that, oh, were you offended my servant, I love you, sorry. No, Allah's beloved servants were horrifically offended, horrifically attacked, horrifically abused. So the concept of rock throwing is that with every rock the patience and the servant's character and good character through patience and perseverance. Be patient because Allah make you to be beautiful with a beatific fragrance. This is what's important in life. And then you get to a point where alhamdulillah, it doesn't matter anymore. The train is moving like a rocket. People come. People don't want to come, then sorry for you that you fell victim to these confusions. But that's tariqah, because to traverse this beatific rows, Allah, why make the rows so difficult? Right? How Gul Muhammadi? Why has to have so many shakh? Even you want to pluck it and smell it, you're going to hurt your hands. Why? Why couldn't you make it just beautiful and so nice and slippery, you just hold it with no problem? Because every path towards a beatific fragrance is filled with difficulty. Our life is filled with shakhs, thorns that trying to get us off our path and off of its reality. But Gul Muhammadi, because this Muhammadan fragrance and beatific fragrance is the sultana fragrance. So Prophet is demanding that from us, that take the path of thorns so that this beautiful fragrance can come out from your soul and from your reality, and the khuluq, the character of one whom has had many rocks thrown at them, the character becomes soft and soft and soft, inshaAllah. So everybody comes like a big steak, T-bone steak, big tomahawk steak. Now they show you these big steaks with big bone. By the end of tariqah you are ground beef hamburger. Become kubida. Yeah, from $90 steak you're down to $5 kubida. InshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Mawlana, is mawt qablil from the reality of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq the highest level of sincerity and truthful jani love?
Yeah, mawt qablil is Naqshbandiyah. This is Mawlana Sultan Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq as-Salam's teaching for us. And in his holy month we taught that you have to be sadiq al-mutlaq, the complete and utterly most truthful servant of Allah. And this was from his holy heart. It wasn't that you don't tell a lie or incorrect word and people are looking, oh, this seems like he was incorrect. He's not one of those. But they were complete and utterly truthful to love, because that seems to be the most hardest thing to do, especially after we describe shaitan is going to attack love. So then go back to the life of Prophet and see how much they're trying to attack his love. As soon as he described Isra Miraj, shaitan came out and said, are you believing this? And Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was what for a thing? Whatever Prophet said, Samina wa atana. I don't know what you're talking about, but if Prophet said it, we are people whom we hear and obey. So you see all the historic events, always Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was the first example of unquestionable love. Unquestionable love. Whether his giving, he said somebody spread a rumour, I would never give him anything again. Prophet said, don't change your character, you are the generous one, don't worry about what the person said. So always was in the pursuit of showing utter love and utter loyalty, with life and death in their love. So this was their explanation to the hearts of awliya, that we are truthful in our love to Prophet, to live and die for that love, because we know that that's the love that shaitan is attacking. So nothing else is more supreme and more powerful than to take your last breath that you were true to your love to Sayyidina Muhammad. That's your eternal destiny. What are you going to do if you weren't? Good God, what does any paradise mean? What does any eternity mean? Eternity would be then a hell for the one who lost that love from Prophet. What are you going to do? What paradise are you planning on going to? All of eternity now will be gone. So no, this is the supreme triumph. And those who wait to the last days, what Prophet gave them as their titles? These are my lovers. People in the last days that come, he described them to the holy companions, they would do anything to have one vision of me. And the companions were astonished and said, these are my ashiqeen and muhibbeen. And the companions said, I thought we're the ashiqeen and muhibbeen. No, you're my companions, you see me all the time, you love me. They have not seen me and they would give everything for one vision of me. So Prophet gave then for us in the last days a title to achieve, be my ashiqeen and muhibbeen. Give everything in your life for one glimpse of me, this is then your ticket. So alhamdulillah, we're hoping to achieve this title. If others were given companionship and all these different titles that Prophet gave, Allah gave to us the people of the last days, be from the ashiqeen of Sayyidina Muhammad. He talked about you. Don't you want to be from them? Say yes, then we achieved and we became the people that Prophet was talking about, inshaAllah. If we are the people of the last nation, the last days, inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al Mustafa wa basiri Surat al Fatiha.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.